You know, it never ceases to amaze me. How far will these beta male simp ass male feminists will go just to push a narrative? In all my years being on YouTube, these retarded folks just don't know. They just don't know that their fakery is already being exposed in the process of pushing a narrative. No introduction required. Y'all see the title of today's video. Beta male simp pretends he was red pill just to push a narrative. And there's a reason why I'm calling him a beta male simp. Because we know he ain't, I know for a fact that he ain't red pill. Everyone else knows for a fact he's not red pill. But here he is, pretending like, oh, I was part of red pill just to push a narrative. Not even knowing that a vast majority of these men out here who are red pill can easily spot a faker from miles away. And yes, he's going to prove that he's fraudulent. And what's more, leave it to a biased news outlet like The Guardian to try to push this narrative. And these biased corporate news outlets wonder why people would rather get their sources off social media more than getting their sources from them. Off the gate. And shout out to Cheese and Said, the host of the Coffee Pod. I'll leave the link to this full video in the comment section. Go check it out. But once again, we got these biased news outlets trying to push a narrative, even going as far as to get paid actors to try to pretend as if they were red pill, but then they escaped from it. But enough of me babbling. Let's get started, shall we?
I was red-pilled. Here's how I escaped the culty and misogynist online pipeline. Here's why this entire thing is stupid. And much like the adolescents Netflix documentary who have little to no intended effect on what they hope will happen.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I was red-pilled. Here's how I escaped the culty and misogynist online pipeline. Oof, this is going to be good. Let's check it out. The Guardian, that's who this is presented by.
You start out, you're just like, hey, we just want to be better with dating. We just want better social skills, right? And then before you know it, you're talking about, like, women are dogs and you need to train them. When I was 17, I fell down the...
Women are dogs, huh? Last time I checked, fellas, who get called dogs the most? The men, right? Yeah, men are dogs. Men are dogs this, men are dogs that. Oh, but now women are being called dogs? That's hard for me to believe right there.
Red pill pipeline, and I managed to get myself out about 5 years later. The term red pill comes from the movie The Matrix. So it's basically saying that you have a truth or knowledge no one else seems to have. They would say that...
No, it's truth, but it doesn't mean that no one else understands it.
Society is...
So red pill is truth that no one else understands. I thought red pill was truth in general. Red pill meaning that you accept the truth for what it is and not how you like it to be. But according to the beta male simp who's pretending to be red pill means truth that no one else seemed to have or understand. Yeah, Yeah, sure. Let's continue.
Gynocentric, which means that society caters to women. That women
Gynocentric. And up until recent, that has largely been the case. Chisha, are you going to keep on pausing it? No, I'm not. I'm going to play for now.
Women only want the top 20% of guys. This isn't true. I would say at 17, I was socially awkward, very introverted. I felt I was ugly in high school. So I went on YouTube and looked up tips regarding dating women. It eventually led me down.
Goddamn, dude. You thought yourself, and I always thought of myself as ugly, but still have such love and respect for myself to a point to where I don't have to deal with isolation. And so what? So what? None of the girls in my high school talked to me, so fucking what? By the time I reached college, that was a different story. But I digress. Let's continue.
The steep, dark hole, it was able to kind of take the weight of blame off of myself. Like, actually, women are the ones in control. You're actually the victim in this situation. It's a very appealing thing to be the victim. I didn't view it as like, I got to put them down type of thing. Like, it was saying that, hey, we understand why you feel bad. If you just learn what we have to give you, you'll be the one winning here soon. Before you know it, you're commenting, you're reading more of it, but at the same time, you're distrustful of the women around you. You're distrustful of people around you because you think they don't know what you know. It just degrades your own mental health. You start, without even realizing it, isolating yourself. I actually felt really embarrassed that people caught me, which kind of is a telltale sign that's probably you should.
Sounds like a you problem to me, buddy. But it's but we all get what you're saying. You're trying to inject your issues onto everybody else, even though everybody else don't have the same issues as you. You're the one who is introverted. You're the one who is isolated. Does that mean everybody in the red pill space suffers that same issue as you? Hell no. Nope. Not at all. So basically what he's trying to do is trying to inject his issues onto everybody else as if everybody else has the same problem as him. And I know a whole lot of men who are red pill. They're not introverted nor isolated. And rather by the way it sounds like he's speaking from an incel point of view rather than a red pill point of view. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's continue.
Be watching it. I first started questioning my beliefs when I went through a breakup. Me and a friend of mine, we went to a cabin party. I started crying in front of one of the girls who I liked there. This girl responded rather with like shame and disgust that the red pill told me that they would react. She was actually like really kind about it. And that kind of made me think, what if I'm wrong? And then afterwards, I was bar hopped.
What the fuck? And we come to the first flaw in this fool's claims. I'm trying to hold back laughter after hearing that. So basically, this beta male simp cried to a girl he liked to give him a chance. Under normal circumstances, if you ever go to a woman, crying to a woman to give you a chance, she will look at you as weak. No confidence, no self-worth. In her eyes, you are weak. You are weak if you show emotion. Yet somehow, his crying worked for him. But he's supposed to be red pill. Right? I mean, you can't make this shit up. Let's continue.
Basically, we have a young guy here who was looking for ways to improve his social skills and dating and stumbled on the red pill, thought that women wouldn't accept him if he showed emotion. At least that was one of the strong beliefs that he held. And when he cried in front of a girl and showed his feelings, she opened up and showed him love, and he realized, oh, wow, the red pill is wrong about everything.
And at this point, I'm beginning to think he's telling a story that sounded well rehearsed. Is this actual fact or is he storytelling? Because what he's saying is the exact opposite of what happens. Ain't no man crying to a woman to give them a chance that she accepts. During my years on this earth, I never seen that type of shit happen. And I bet a whole lot of men haven't seen other men cry to a woman to give them a chance. This is the reason why I having doubts at this moment when it comes to this dude's claims. Let's continue.
Here's why this entire thing is stupid. And much like the adolescents Netflix documentary, who have little to no intended effect on what they hope will happen. You want young men to be less toxic, and I agree, I also want that. I also saw a few things that I would call toxic. But the reason why this is stupid is because you're not even addressing the real issues concerning young men. You're not asking the real questions.
Not at all.
Why is it that young men were attracted to that content that you call toxic? That's what needs to be addressed straight on, but they won't do that. Why? Because it will expose that maybe this was a response to feminism. Now, if you go search The Guardian and the word misogyny, here you have all these other articles like why the manosphere clicked with young men. Another article here released on March 19th, 2025 says beyond Andrew Tate and the imitators who helped promote him or whatever, they just have a bunch of these typical articles that you'd expect. They don't ask the real questions. They just label every male empowering platform as toxic and misogyny.
And they wonder why people would rather get their sources off social media, off of social media, rather than listening to these biased news outlets giving their one-sided point of view of the story. Remember, as I believe, what's it, CNN? I think it was CNN had that interview with that pro-feminist from Cosmopolitan magazine, sitting there talking about the manosphere and all that type of stuff, and they were sitting back crying, bitching, and complaining about why people is getting their news sources off social media rather than listen to their biased bullshit. And this right there is further proof of that. Let's continue.
Instead of realizing that this generation of men has grown up with online dating, and it is true that a small majority of men on those apps do receive the majority of likes and attention. And yes, that doesn't necessarily mean that women only find the 20% of men on those apps attractive, but it does pose a question of, okay, how can I improve my attraction on these apps? And so they go out to learn more on how to do exactly that. Photo quality, how to approach. She talked about pickup there, which definitely has its issues. I think if you're going to label something a cult or some form of misogyny, you first need to start with why are young men attracted to what you have labeled a cult? That's where you have to start. Then you have to ask yourself, is there any...
Yeah, the typical cult argument. Oh, it's a cult. It's a cult. But ask these retarded fucks, okay, if what you're claiming is a cult, then who is the leader of the cult? They can't answer the question. They can't answer the question. So the next thing they're gonna do is, the next thing they're gonna do is call out random people. Only for those same people that they claim are the leader of the cult come out saying that they don't lead shit. When that fails, they then want to turn around and say, "Oh, it's a leaderless cult." Leaderless cult, in which there is no such fucking thing as a leaderless cult. There is no such thing as a cult with no leader. Then they want to sit there and say, "Oh, a cult can have multiple leaders." Again, bullshit. And the crazy part about it is that they act so fucking desperate, saying anything and everything they can just to defend their cult argument, and it constantly fails miserably. Up to the point to where they no longer have that fight in them. And they now have to face that grim reality. Your cult argument is bullshit, and all the excuses in the world is not going to change that fact. But let's continue.
Truth to what these young men may be struggling with. Could it be that they're hearing constantly online about how they need to earn enough money to pay all the bills, and how their only value that they bring to a relationship is their wallet, and so they're attracted to men who promote exactly that, which I don't agree with, by the way. And I definitely do think there are some toxic values embraced within male spaces. But if you're just going to say, "Oh, they're a cult, they hate women," then you've already lost the plot, because those men are still going to have to go into the real world and deal with the same exact issues that led them to change, some of them for the better and some of them also for the worse. Before we get back into the video, a quick word about the spot.
Hold on a sec.
With a group of guys, and a few of them were red pilled. It was the first time actually meeting other red pill guys, and I could just kind of see how bitter and angry they were. There was this one guy, and he was trying to do pickup techniques. It was obvious that the girls weren't liking it at all, but he kept getting more and more.
Let me guess. You claimed that some of those guys was red pill, right? May I ask a question? Did you ask them, are they red pill or not? Or is this beta male simp assuming that they are red pill? No, serious question. Serious question, because the number of times I saw this video so many times, he's gonna shoot himself in the foot by making that claim. Because he's sitting there claiming that, "Oh, I saw other guys at the bar, and some of them were red pill." Not even knowing that the men who are red pilled, they ain't gonna tell you that they're red pilled, even if you ask them. So how does this beta male simp who cries for women attention knows for a fact that they're red pill?
Aggressive. I'm like, is this how I see the world? And it kind of
They're aggressive.
Disgusted me. I feel very guilty and ashamed, because it's just like, you really thought that, man? Like, this is totally a nuanced reason. I say it's compared to a cult.
What's more, this is coming from the same retarded fuck ass beta male simp who believes crying for a woman to be with him is a success. But it's clear to see that he's jealous of the other men who actually got game, that can talk to women and can pull women. That's how it sounds like to me. Oh, these other men at the bar, some are red pill, some I think are red pill. It's like they're all aggressive and shit. No. That's what you want. That's what you want other people to believe. When in reality, those men got game. you got to cry, beg on bending knees in order to get a woman's attention. So yes, I can't. So yes, Uncle JD can't help but to sense jealousy in that statement. What's more, all we hear is talking. All we hear is talking coming from a beta male simp who has to cry for women's attention. If this really happened at the bar, would you have pulled out your phone and recorded these ordeals? I would without a second thought. You see, Uncle JD is the type of man that would rather see it more than hear it. Show me more than you can tell me, because all I hear is just words, and words alone won't move me to believe what you're saying is true. So now it comes back to this question. Is what this beta male simp saying is true, or is he storytelling? But let's continue.
They don't like outsiders. They don't like outside thought. A lot of the comments started also sounding the same too. There was no original thought. There's a lot of, you guys make me feel like I'm at home, complaining about women.
Let's see those comments. Okay, let's see those comments then. Oh, that's right. He don't show these comments proving that this is what red pill men be saying. This is what red pill men be saying. All we see is just an image. But again, everybody's supposed to believe what this beta male simp has to say because it's flying out of his pussy lips. He calls a mouth. Let's continue.
Repeal the 19th. That's the amendment that allows women to vote. There was a lot of rage. I have a mom. I have women friends. So it would be kind of like, I don't want to take away their rights. And then
and yet you didn't show not a single comment of these type of men saying this shit. Not once. But we are to believe your bullshit ass story. But let's continue.
That's the same on any platform. If you go to a platform that caters to more conservative views, then you're going to see the same type of like liberals are crazy, so on and so forth. If you go on a platform that embraces more liberal views, you're going to see the people in the comments calling the people that they disagree with fascists and Nazis and so on and so forth. It's just human beings.
Time they got really disgusting. I don't feel comfortable saying some of the other stuff I saw. Vile, misogynistic comments. That was another thing that helped me realize my beliefs in the red.
Yet shows no receipts of those vile comments. In fact, as a matter of fact, he ain't giving out those sites for people to go and see for themselves. But we are supposed to believe his retarded fuck ass story. Let's continue.
When I first started to decide to actively stop watching red pill content, it was like flooding my feed. I would just click not interested. But regardless, they just kept appearing over and over. So yeah, it took me roughly about a year. I'm on ex-red pill forum.
It took you a year to let social media platforms know that you're not interested. When in reality, it can only take you 5 minutes. No, less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. Guys, make the retarded logic make sense here. It took him a year to let these social media platforms know that he's not interested in red pill content, when it can literally take him 5 minutes or less to let them know. This is how I know his story is absolute bullshit. Let's continue.
A year to cleanse your feed, bro? Come on.
to help other people out like I would have helped me out. Helping others too is kind of maybe a way of like rectifying it. So something I wish that someone would told me when I was in the red pill. Not everyone who tells you that you're right is your friend. I feel like content creators in the red pill, they don't believe sincerely what they say and they're only saying it to get money and time out of you. Feminism is not bad. It's required in today's.
And there you have it. There we have it. Now we see why he's making this story. So basically, what he's telling people is he is a beta male. He is a beta male feminist simp. And as Uncle JD be telling y'all fellas, sit back and you listen long enough, they will tell you what their actual intentions are. Oh, feminism. I left the red pill space, but same time, feminism ain't that bad. When you put the puzzles together, you see the actual story. So now we know for a fact that this dude is pro-feminist. He's a male feminist pretending that he's red pill. That's right, fellas. A male feminist in red pill clothing. Now pretending like, I was part of the red pill, but I'm not. But back to what I said, let's go to what he said earlier. Can we go back on this real quick?
Your friend. I feel like content creators in the red pill, they don't believe sincerely what they say and they're only saying it to get money and time out of you.
Is it just red pill? Let me retort. Is it just red pill getting money off of people? Because I know a lot of spaces that gets money out of people as well. That also even feminists, even the feminists whose ass this beta male wants to kiss, they also get money off of stupid women. Let's just keep it up front and real. Call a ball, and a strike. No matter where you go, no matter where you go, no matter what group you want to be in, guess what? Someone is getting money out of them. So that being said, what makes red pill so special in that category? What makes red pill the only space so special in that category? Like as a red pill is the only space on social media platforms where you gotta give where they gotta give people money. When no matter where you go, people are gonna ask for money regardless. Let's continue.
Feminism is not bad. It's required in today's society. Also, men and women have different preferences, and sometimes you won't meet them. That's nothing personal. I think community is the solution for this. The isolation and self-involved nature of these is what's leading people down these rabbit holes. There are still lots of men.
And once again, he's injecting his own issues and insecurities onto other men. And as I stated, and as I also stated, the vast majority of red pill men don't have that problem he has. No, dude, you were isolated. You were introverted. The vast majority of men who are red pill don't have that problem. Come to think about it, this also contradicts his story. If he believes red pill men are introverted and isolated, then how does he know that those men in the bar were red pill? Oops. Aha. So red pill men, so according to this lame beta male beta male feminist, MGTOW men, no, not MGTOW, red pill men are introverted and isolated while at the same time they still hit women at the bar. See how he just destroyed his own story in seconds. This further proves that he's nothing more than a faker pretending that he was with Red Pill when in reality he's bullshitting. Let's continue.
Especially young men who are being introduced to these philosophies. And if I can avoid anyone from feeling the loneliness and rage and isolation I felt when I was that young, that's a win. You start.
All right. Again, stupid video. And I've said this about the past adolescence situation and series. It's dumb. And it will continue to be ineffective if you're not willing to have the real conversations. If you're not willing to ask, well, how about misandry? Do men experience that online? And what did the landscape look like before media was decentralized? Did men feel like they could speak? I know this is very much attached to the current political climate. You got to ask yourself, do men feel more free now? Or do they feel like they had a muzzle on them before? Did you like them better that way? It's ludicrous to think that hitting the gym, improving yourself, and learning to properly date in itself is toxic. It's also crazy to assume that learning about female nature and male nature is toxic. Now, should you be careful what values you embrace and listen to? Yes. What I would define as toxic comes down to, what do you think your purpose for that practice is? For example, is your purpose for dating just to sleep with as many women as you can, to go around sleeping with women and racking up bodies? To me, based on my values, that I would define as toxic, because I'm also someone who identifies as Christian. Now, I don't expect you to live the way I live. I don't expect you to embrace my values. And I think people just naturally are drawn to people who they're interested in, whether they get a little bit of value for them or whether their values align with them as closely.
I agree. I agree 100% on that. But this is what the femitards want people to believe. Especially the men. Men bettering themselves, toxic. Men understanding female nature is toxic. Men trying to avoid getting caught up in any type of situation involving a woman is toxic. All this according to the femitards, and I call them femitards for a reason. You see, the fact of the matter is, these dumb feminists don't want men to improve. They don't want men to better themselves. They don't want men to be aware. They just want men to just kowtow to all their needs and demands. And yes, you got some. Then I ain't gonna call them men. Usually I look at male feminists as nothing more than boys. But yeah, you got these male feminists out here thinking that, oh, if I kiss these women's asses, if I bow down to them and be their slave, then, oh, I'm going to get brownie points. Oh, I'm going to get pussy. I'm going to get all this type of shit. When in reality, even the feminists themselves don't respect these dudes that worship the ground they walk on. And no, being a beta male simp is not going to win these boys any favors, especially if you're going around women showing weakness. And I'm just being brutally honest when I say that shit off the gate.
As possible. My only problem with this is there's never a talk about the women who embrace gold digger culture. I mean, you literally heard them say that women are dogs, when the reality is the most known saying goes, men are dogs. And when men were dogs, it was okay. And listen, as I've gotten older, a lot of my perspectives have fine-tuned.
Exactly what I said earlier. Men are being called dogs, and hardly women. So I don't know where you got that shit from. Hold on a second. And I'm back. Who the fuck does these beta male simp ass male feminist ass clowns think they fooling? Yeah, and nice try pretending that you were red pill when in reality you are not. Plus you're saying this on a biased news media outlet. Plus you completely exposed your bias. And yet everyone is supposed to believe a word this this weak ass beta male has to say. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You believe crying to a woman will give you a chance. You're making all these claims that you cannot back up. No video evidence, no sources, no sources claiming that red pill men making these comments, but don't want to show the comments of these red pill men saying the shit that you claim they are saying. You inject your own insecurities. You inject your own issues and insecurities onto other men, as well as you contradicted yourself claiming that red pill men are introverted and isolated, while at the same time they're still able to go to the bars and hit on women. Which of course, as I stated before, you shot yourself in the foot making that claim. Plus, you showed your bias. You showed your bias, bruh. Feminism ain't that bad. And that's how we know for a fact. And that's how we know for a fact what you actually made this video for. Why you're doing this shit for. You are a male feminist pretending that, I was a red pill, but I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, nor do I even know what the red pill is about. But this lame beta male simp expects for everybody to take his ass seriously. Get the fuck out of here with your desperate attempt. And fellas, this is how you could tell when you get this how you could easily tell when retarded fucks be faking shit. And yes, I seen the comments as well. And yes, I'm hearing a lot of people say this dude nothing more than a paid actor. Just another retarded, fuck ass, lame ass hit piece from a biased news outlet, and then wonder why nobody takes their asses seriously. And in the case this beta male feminist doesn't understand, the vast majority of red pill men, they know a faker when they hear one, and you, sir, is a faker. You can't even say that you used to be red pill when you weren't even red pill at all. Nope. You wasn't even a red pill from the very start. So why sit there and pretend like you were a red pill when you're on social media faking this shit? And yes, vast majority of red pill men, we can see past your fucking facade. You can fool some, but you can't fool all. Out the gate. Now that I'm done exposing this beta male this beta male simp pretending to be Red Pill. I said what I had to say. Shout out to Cheese and Ed, the host of the Coffee Pod. If y'all want to watch this video in its entirety, I'll leave the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell him JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for today. I'm done with this beta male simp ass male feminist pretending to be Red Pill, and I'm out this bitch. Later.